G'day again. Okay, we're sort of got my guards semi-finished. I chopped and changed a few times, quite a lot of times actually, and yeah. So before I go finishing them off, well, I won't be finishing them completely, till I've done the whole thing. But yeah, I'm going to have to take a template of that inner piece, the piece I cut off the front guard, so that I've got the same profile for the other side. The outer guard, or the rear guard, the outer part of the guard, which is the rear guard, was cut right along the edge of the flange. So yeah, and that's no worries as far as distance goes. The end bits, like the end lengths, I'll probably have to get a length of that too. Use a bit of tape, a bit of string, something like that to measure, like to do a measure up and round so I get the lengths the same. Anyway, yeah, the main bit I wanted to show you, I wasn't happy with the way they hung down. Like, you have to bring them down to a reasonable level. They're not quite legal. I'm still going to put mud flaps on the back because they're supposed to be, minimum of axle level, so they're a good 6 inches above the axle. So yeah, they'd be illegal without mud flaps. Not that I'm registering it with the shell on it anyway. I'm only going to register the frame. And yeah, I made some queries about that actually. We got a place in town that manufactures trailers that also sell trailer parts, and yeah, I bought a few things off them and I get along with them pretty well. But yeah, he's uploaded the website and yeah, knows how to get the numbers now. He's done it all. So yeah, I'm going to pay him $100 to get me my numbers and save stuffing around. Of course, on top of that, I got to pay another $100 plus to get it inspected, and then I got to pay again for the rego. So yeah, it's going to run into a few bucks. But anyway, I'd say I'd rather spend $100 and not have the issue of having to try and learn this website and stuffing it up or something. So yeah, but yeah, as you can see, there's a new piece added onto the bottom of that. I didn't like how they're hanging down below the actual body trailer, kind of whatever you call it. And I was just going to put a brace there. Like, I was concerned mainly about it catching things and getting bent up, but yeah, I didn't sort of like it hanging down, so I've decided to fill it in, front and rear. The rear was pretty easy, I'll show you actually. Rear was just a piece of the wheel arch off the front guard, and had sort of a little bit of a contour, because that's going to have to be straightened up a little bit. It's not as hanging a bit low just here. We have to put a cut in that. But yeah, see, that's got the roll lip. So it's same as the guard. Same here. I added the original piece from down here. I cut that off, welded that back in, so it's got the rolled edge all the way around. And I want to do the same here, like mainly for strength, but also for appearance, to have that rolled edge. And so yeah, as I said, that was just another piece. Cut off the front guard, welded it in there, went in quite neatly. And as well as adding strength to it, does improve the look of it a lot. So yeah, I'm pretty happy that I did that. Same as the front. As I said, I started off like this. Is another piece of the wheel arch and the rolled edge. And that's what I was originally going to put in there, because this is overlapped in here because it's got a bolt on. I think I'm going to be bolting the guards on, so I've had to extend it past that so I can put a bolt through it. But yeah, I had protruding through anyway, you know, so like the guard would have come down here at this level. Yeah, just had that on there, but yeah, didn't like it. Looked aggy. So sat back there, had a smoke, looked at it, thought, yeah, I really need to go full length. So did that. Of course, I didn't have any more rolled edge, and yeah, that bit needed to be straight anyway, not curved. So I went out looking around, see what I could find, and yeah, this is the lid off our old wash machine. It's nice, thick panel, straight, and yeah, that had that. Not quite a rolled edge, folded edge, but yeah, there's sort of a little bit of a lip on the inside, and yeah, it's plenty strong. Yeah, I mean, that's been 20 years of being used as a wash machine, never got bent, so yeah, pretty good. And of course, whenever you go looking for something like this, you got to make sure, you know, because I'm doing this on this side, I've got to make sure I've got the same piece to use on the other side. So you got to make sure that, yeah, whatever you use, there's enough of it to do both sides. So, and of course, this wasn't long enough, so I've had to chop a bit off. Yeah, like to chop the long piece and then the shorter piece off the side. Join them together. I started cutting it actually, and then I realised, yeah, I cut it inside out, so that's okay. Use that bit on the other side. But yeah, I've got enough left to do the same thing again on the other side. I've yeah, grind assembly worlds, not that great. Where it's I'm a bit concerned. I'm gonna have to panel beat this, but yeah, like the MIG welds, yeah, quite brittle. Yeah, there's a good chance it's, yeah, quite a lot of this will split. I'm gonna have to straighten it out, and I'll have to re-weld it. But yeah, probably should have worked harder to get it the right shape first. And, yeah, probably on the other side I might, yeah, because now I sort of know where I want it, how it's going to look. So yeah, probably will be easier to actually get it right. Yeah, so the next step now, I've marked a line all the way along, marking pen, you can see it down there. And so the next step now is to get the wheel off. There's a few places, especially down here, where it didn't, oh, that was just a straight piece. That was a piece that came off there, and there wasn't any curve in it, so I've had to put, yeah, cuts, you know, in the underside so I could curve it. And same down here, you know, this being the original front guard piece, that was a whole lot straighter than, you know, like it didn't curve enough to match the rear guard. So once again, there's a whole lot of cuts in the back flange of this. So yeah, if I just cut that off now, it's all going to pop out of shape again. So I got to get the wheel off, and I got to tack all of those cuts so that, you know, so that it holds its shape. And yeah, and the reason, well, there's two reasons for drawing a line. One is so I know it goes back in the same position, but the other one is, you know, I'm going to bolt this on, and I can't, well, there's not enough room to get the drill in here to drill your holes. You'd be drilling up at an angle, it wouldn't work very well. You can draw them from the inside, but you'd sort of be guessing at where your holes are supposed to be. You know, you'd get a bit of an indication, like you'd be able to see where these tack welds are. They'd show up, it'd burn the paint off on the inside, but it's still not really that close. So yeah, the idea now is that, you know, once I get the guard back off, I've got a line I can come down 20 mil from the line all the way along. Drill all my holes into the body itself. Then I'll put the guard back on, either clamp it, tack it, probably a bit of both. And then drill from the inside through the holes that are already in the body into the guard itself. Or fender as you call them in America. So, yeah, that's the next step. That's where we're up to. And yeah, bit of a dilemma, but it's all fun. Yeah. Like, I enjoy doing things like this. I don't see this as being, work or a hustle or grinding worlds. Yeah, I'm not that keen on grinding worlds, but it's part of it. But I really enjoy the creating parts of it. And it sort of makes it, like I had one comment of junk. So I don't know what sort of meant, whether the whole trailer or the concept is junk or what, but the Beetle was junk to begin with. I wouldn't have cut it up if it was in any sort of restorable condition, I wouldn't have done it. I just felt guilty about it. So I specifically wanted something that was busted, rusted up, that nobody's going to restore. I don't want to prevent a Beetle from going back on the road. So, as I said, this is well and truly beyond it. So, yeah, it was junk. But, that's part of the enjoyment. I like taking things that are just rubbish, they're not worth anything, and making something out of it. That is something I really enjoy. So, yeah. Anyway, I said I'm sort of fairly content with where I'm at. Well, the other issue too, I don't know if I pointed this out previously, I couldn't get the guard out as far as I want. Like, if this were, to come down 1.5 inches to scrub the tyre, I don't think it ever will, because I probably won't have enough weight in it to bend the springs that much, But I still want to get more clearance on that, and I can't. So I couldn't pull the guard out without having a big gap that I would have had to, lay it, inch wide strip in all the way around along. So, but so I was thought about this and inquired about it, and I did mention this too in the last video. There's a 2-inch gap between the wheel and the spring, and that axle's solid. That's a solid chunk of steel. It's majorly heavy. And so I went in while I was at the trailer place, and it's mainly what I went in there for, to see if he had the tube there, like in the newer type axles, they have square tube, and your stub axles just have a square block 2 inches long or something on the end, and they just fit into the tube and weld them on. And that's how they make them nowadays. So, but it's got to be the proper wall thickness and everything. So here's what he's got. A bit expensive. It's going to cost me about $50 for the piece of pipe, maybe even more. I just want to join it full length. I do have some 3-inch stuff, but that's a hell of a lot of cutting and welding to cut it down and make it a 1.5 inch square tube. Well, that's heavy wool, so whether it's heavy enough, I'll have to make inquiries about that. But anyway, either way, that is now the plan. Is I'm going to cut the axle, maybe about 3 inches or so, the original axle, fit it inside the tube, and make the whole axle overall 3 inches shorter. So that'll bring it in 1.5 inches either side. That'll give me my guard clearance. So Yeah. When and where I do that, I don't know. I might just try and get it registered as is before I chop it. If I get it registered first, then I don't have to go full length. Yeah. I could just do one in the middle or something. Although, yeah, the more I chop out of the solid axle, the lighter it's going to be. But yeah, it'll depend on finances as to how I go about that. But anyway, that's down the track. But yeah, just wanted to show you this is how I'm going to get my clearance for the wheel. Alright, don't think there's much else to be shown. Yeah, basically the whole thing has come together using parts off the bug itself. This is only the second piece of something else that I've used. I did. Yeah, there's a piece off an old Ford boot lid. That was the silver bit that went round the back, and a bit of washing machine. But yeah, they're basically the only bits of panel that I've used that aren't off the Volkswagen itself. So anyway, leave it at that. Thanks for watching. Bye.